There are some people that are pathological divorcees. And if he's a pathological divorcee, you want to know how things have been, why he has been living those he has been living. Because if it's a character defect on his own end, don't think he will be exempted. If you just jump in thinking that you know better, that the other women he had divorced in the past don't know how to manage him, you will be in for a rude shock. Hello everyone. Thank you for always interacting with me on the social media, commenting and sharing my posts. Today, I'm going to be answering some of the questions that I saw at the comment section. This is to show that I go through the comments of the people and I am interested in serving them relationally in any way I can. One of the questions I saw in my comment section was that of a lady asking me whether it is advisable to marry a man that is 22 years older than she is. And my answer to that would be that for marriage generally, there are certain principles that are critical to decision making. Whether you are marrying somebody far older or you are marrying somebody within the same age range with you. Considering this age gap, 22 years, I would say to decide whether to go for it or not, you need to factor certain things. Some of which are, is this particular man young at heart? There are people that are chronologically old, but they are young at heart. They can relate to the younger generation very well. They know what is happening with the younger generation and they can bond with the younger generation. Then are you matured at heart despite being young chronologically? Can you relate to older generation well? Do you have native intelligence? Can you relate with an adult in a way that will make them feel loved and respected despite having a love relationship with them? Another thing you will have to consider is that do you share the same values? Because the values of individuals determine what is important to each individual. So the two of you will not be able to successfully live together if your values are not similar. Do you share the same values? Do you see things similarly? It will determine whether it is advisable for you to go ahead with it or not. Another thing you will need to find out is, why does he want to marry now? Is it that he's been single all his life? Is it that he's widowed? Is it that he's divorced or separated? If he's been single all his life and is 22 years older than you, that means he's quite elderly. You need to investigate about why he's been single all along. Is it a character defect? Is it an health issue? Is it a extended family issue? You need to know, because when you marry into his realities. And if he's a widow, you need to know about his children. The extended family matters, though you are not exactly marrying them per se, but they can determine the temperature of your marriage environment. So you want to know, are they in support of this? Are they not in support? If they are not in support, is the man able to handle them in such a way that they will not create nuisance in the marriage? And if he's divorced, you want to know why. Apart from what he tells you, because everybody will say things mostly to favor them, you will have to do your own investigations to be sure that what he's saying is actually the truth. And if he's divorced, has he been divorced only once? Because there are some people that are pathological divorcees. And if he's a pathological divorcee, you want to know how things have been, why he has been living those he has been living. Because if it's a character defect on his own end, don't think he will be exempted. if you just jump in thinking that you know better, that the other women are divorced in the past, don't know how to manage you will be in for a rude shock. Lastly, there are other realities you need to familiarize yourself with. For instance, if he's 22 years older than you, his children, if he's been married before, are likely to be close to you in age. Therefore, you can't expect the children that are close to you, age-wise, to be calling you mommy. You are likely going to be called an aunt. Another thing is that you are not likely going to be able to send those children around freely the way you will send younger children on errand, because they are close to you in age. Another reality you also need to familiarize yourself with is the fact that although he's likely going to be cordial with your friends, he's not going to be very close with your friends because of that age gap. So you can't expect that you'll be able to go out with him alongside your friends the way boyfriend, girlfriends, or husband and wife of the same age range can go out clubbing, partying, and things like that. And on his own end, you will need to show respect to all his friends, because his friends are going to be in the category of his age range. So you are not going to be as close to them too as the couples of similar age range would be to the friends of their spouses. You are only going to be cordial. You are going to show them respect. Then you will have to factor that age gap means it will grow faster than you. He will grow older. He will age more. And as he ages, some useful parts of him will decline. His libido might decline. His physique might start declining gradually. You need to ask yourself, can you live with that? Can you cope with it? And you will not have a problem. If your answer to all these things is yes, and your investigations show that he has no skeleton in his cupboard, why not? There's no rule that says that marriages work when you marry only your mates. And there's also no rule that says that marriages work when you marry older people because they know better. Because older people doesn't necessarily know better. It is people that seek for knowledge and learn to apply the relevant knowledge they get into their relationship and marriages that enjoy good marriages. So, your findings will determine your decision. I wish you good luck.